Let me ask you something uncomfortable. You've been kind, available, understanding, and patient, and somehow, the people you gave everything to treated you like you were replaceable. You bent yourself backwards trying to be what others needed, and in return, you got indifference. Maybe disrespect, maybe silence. And the cruelest part, you kept going back. Not because you're weak, but because somewhere deep inside, you believed that if you just gave a little more, they'd finally see your worth. But here's the brutal contradiction nobody tells you. The more desperate you are to prove your value, the less valuable you appear. Not to the world, to yourself. And that internal signal, that quiet collapse of self-respect, broadcasts louder than any words you've ever spoken. So before we talk about attracting better people, better opportunities, better relationships, we need to talk about the only thing that actually changes any of that. You. This isn't a video about confidence tricks or dating advice, or some 5-step formula to make people like you more. What we're going to explore today comes from somewhere much older and much deeper. Stoic philosophy, combined with what modern psychology is now proving was true all along. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they didn't teach people how to impress the world. They taught people how to build an unshakable relationship with themselves. And that internal foundation, it changes everything externally. I've spent years studying why certain men seem to effortlessly draw respect, loyalty, and high-quality people into their lives, while others, equally intelligent, equally talented, stay trapped in cycles of disappointment. The difference is never luck. It's never looks. It's something internal that most people never consciously develop. Today, I'm going to break that down into lessons that will genuinely shift how you see yourself and how the world responds to you because of it. Stay until the end, because the final reframe is where everything clicks. And if this kind of content speaks to you, you already know what to do. Lesson 1. You cannot pour from a cup you've never filled. Most men have been taught that loving yourself is selfish, that putting yourself first is arrogance, that shrinking, accommodating, and constantly giving is what makes you a good man. And that programming has quietly destroyed more potential than any external failure ever could. Think about the guy who cancels his gym session because his friend needs him, who stops pursuing his goals because his partner feels insecure, who never speaks his real opinion because he's afraid of conflict. He's not loving, he's disappearing. Epictetus said it plainly. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. The principle here is internal abundance. You cannot genuinely give value to others when your internal account is running on empty. Self-value isn't about thinking you're better than others. It's about being so full within yourself that you stop needing others to fill you. The practical shift: start doing one thing daily purely for your own growth, not for approval, not for an audience. Just for you. That's where it begins. Lesson 2. Your standards are a mirror, not a wall. Here's something that will sting if you're honest. The quality of people in your life right now is a direct reflection of what you've been willing to accept. Not what you deserve, what you've accepted. There's a man who stays in a friendship where he's constantly the one reaching out. He tells himself it's loyalty, but what he's actually doing is teaching that person his time has no value. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Confine yourself to the present." And in the present, right now, what are you tolerating that you know you shouldn't? Standards aren't about being cold or elite. They are information you broadcast to the world about how you expect to be treated. When you raise them, not out of ego, but out of genuine self-respect, the right people rise to meet them. The wrong ones leave. And that departure? That's not loss. That's filtering. But this is where most people make a critical mistake. Lesson 3. Neediness is not love. It's fear wearing a mask. Ask yourself honestly, how many of your relationships, romantic, social, professional, have been driven by genuine connection versus the fear of being alone? Because those two things feel identical from the inside, but produce completely different outcomes. The man driven by fear will text first every time, agree with things he doesn't believe, suppress his needs, and then feel resentment building like pressure in a sealed container. The Stoics called this attachment to externals, and they considered it the root of all suffering. Epictetus taught that the only things truly in your control are your judgments, intentions, and responses. Everything else, how people feel about you, whether they stay, whether they approve, is external. And when you chase external validation to feel internal peace, you have permanently handed your power to someone else. The reframe is this: pursue connection from wholeness, not from emptiness. Be someone who chooses people rather than someone who needs them. That energy is felt before a single word is spoken. Lesson 4. Silence is the language of the secure. There's a man who, when someone disrespects him, immediately explains himself, defends himself, over-communicates trying to fix the situation. And there's another man who simply goes quiet, not cold, not passive-aggressive, just steady, grounded, unbothered. Which one do you think commands more respect? The Stoic concept of logos, reason and inner order, teaches that not every moment requires your reaction. Seneca wrote, "It is not that I am brave, it is that I know what is worth being troubled by." When you value yourself, you stop bleeding your energy into situations that don't deserve it. You stop over-explaining your decisions to people who have already made up their minds. Your silence becomes your power. Your stillness becomes your statement. Practice this. The next time someone tries to provoke a reaction from you, pause for 5 full seconds before you respond. In those 5 seconds, ask, does this deserve my energy? Often, the answer will be no. And now comes the part nobody ever talks about. Lesson 5. The identity you hold internally becomes the reality you live externally. This is where psychology and Stoicism converge in a way that changes everything. Your brain doesn't just observe reality, it filters it through the lens of your identity. If you believe, at your core, that you are someone of low value, your brain will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity that contradicts that belief. You'll deflect compliments. You'll undercharge for your skills. You'll settle for relationships that confirm your unworthiness. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This isn't metaphor. This is neuroscience. Your dominant self-concept literally rewires how you perceive and respond to the world. The man who sees himself as high value doesn't need to announce it. He simply acts in alignment with it, consistently, quietly, powerfully. Begin asking yourself, what would a man who deeply respects himself do right now? In this conversation, in this decision, in this moment. Then do that, repeatedly, until it stops being a question and starts being automatic. Lesson 6. Boundaries aren't barriers. They are the blueprint of your character. Contradiction. The men who seem the most open, magnetic, and warm are usually the ones with the clearest internal boundaries. They're not rigid. They're defined. There's a difference. A man without boundaries isn't kind, he's available. And availability without selectivity signals desperation, not generosity. Epictetus taught that you must clearly distinguish between what is yours to control and what belongs to others. Your time, your values, your energy, these are yours. When someone consistently violates them and you say nothing, you're not being the bigger person. You're erasing yourself. Start small. Decline one thing this week that you only said yes to because you feared disappointing someone. Notice how that feels. That feeling, that uncomfortable but clean sensation, is the beginning of self-respect and practice. This is where everything actually changes. Lesson 7. The version of you they're attracted to must be real, not performed. Here's the trap most men fall into on their self-improvement journey. They learn the right words, adopt the confident posture, study social dynamics, and they become very good actors. But people can feel a performance, and the moment they feel it, the connection collapses. Real self-value isn't performed. It's inhabited. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." But you can only attract that caliber of person when you are genuinely becoming a better version, not playing one. The goal is congruence. Your internal world and external presentation are aligned. You speak the same way whether someone is watching or not. You hold your standards even when it costs you something. That consistency over time becomes a kind of quiet gravity. People orbit men who are real. They leave men who are performing. Lesson 8. Loneliness is a signal, not a sentence. One of the most painful experiences for a man is feeling deeply alone, even when surrounded by people. But here's the Stoic reframe that cuts through that pain. Loneliness, when faced with courage, becomes the greatest accelerator of self-development in existence. Marcus Aurelius spent years governing an empire, but wrote his most profound thoughts in solitude. To himself, for himself, with no audience. He didn't run from his inner world. He built it. The man who cannot be alone becomes dependent on whoever is nearby. He tolerates the wrong people because the alternative, silence, terrifies him. But the man who has learned to be alone well, he becomes extraordinary company. Not because he's performed growth, but because he's actually done the work that solitude demands. Sit with yourself this week. Not with your phone. Not with noise. Just you. Whatever surfaces, that's what needs your attention. Remember where we started. That man who gave everything and felt invisible. Who bent until he broke and still wondered what was wrong with him. That man wasn't broken. He was simply operating from the wrong foundation. He was trying to build connection on top of self-abandonment. And it will never work. Not because people are cruel, but because the universe responds to energy, not effort. The Stoics knew something we're only beginning to fully understand. The inner world creates the outer world. When you build genuine self-value, not arrogance, not performance, but real, quiet, unshakable respect for yourself, something shifts. Not just in how you feel, in who finds you, in what you attract, in what you refuse to tolerate. You don't become someone who chases. You become someone worth chasing. That's not a fantasy. That's physics. And the only question left is whether you're willing to do the inner work to become that man. If this hits something real inside you, drop one word in the comments right now: value. That's your identity lock. That's you claiming this shift. Share this with one man in your life who needs to hear it. And remember this: a man who knows his worth doesn't demand recognition. He simply stops accepting anything less.